Budapestről érkeztünk a Kóstúdióból, most Helsinkibe vagyunk, és szeretettel köszöntjük dr. Ben Furmant, a Megoldás Központú Megközelítések nemzetközi szakértőjét.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ben Furman, that you are inviting us in your Helsinki home. You are an expert in the solution-focused approaches in the applications of it.
A mai alkalommal arról fogunk beszélni, hogy hogyan tudjuk ezt a megközelítést a munkahelyi környezetben megvalósítani.
We would like to discuss with you how this approach can be used and applications can be used in the working environments. Okay. Ben, once more thank you for the interview, and I would like to have your approach how to use this solution focus in the working environment. Because I know that it can be used in any type of organization, and you are using it, I know.
Yeah.
But now I'm interested that the 2 days very stressful working environment, how you could help, how we can help with this, these several packages, trainings, which are all based on solution focus approach.
Yeah, good question, because in many organizations today we have so many changes that if you ask people like what is the biggest stress for you, they would say, yeah, I can't deal with this, it's changing all the time. And last week we had another organizational change, and next week is another organizational change, so people are really struggling with that. And not only are they struggling with the changes, in many organizations you start to get people from all over the world trying to work together, coming from totally different cultures. They don't have a language, a psychological language, a communication language. And for me, a workplace is like a football team. You know, you want the players to kind of work together. They have to understand. They have to be able to communicate. They have to be able to give feedback to each others. They have to be able to say things to each others without causing a conflict every time anybody opens their mouth. You have a conflict, and particularly at times of change, these conflicts are very likely to happen. And when you start to get people from all over the world, they have to work together. They don't have a tradition of work. They don't have a language to work together. They need help in getting that cooperation going. And there are, of course, different ways of helping people to do that. But I think that the solution-focused psychology, or the solution-focused approach, it is a very good possible answer to this extreme problem that we are facing all over. And then the question is, okay, how can you use solution-focused psychology to help people survive and thrive in this organization, constant change? There are many approaches to that. Together with my colleagues, we developed a method, coaching method, that we call reteaming. We wrote books about it, we trained people to do reteaming coaching, and this is a coaching method where you can work with a whole team. I mean, not only an individual, of course you can also use it with an individual, but you can invite the whole team or a group of people, even a bigger group of people, and you can invite them to work together to develop a vision of how they like things to be. You know, solution-focused approach is very future-oriented. So it will start with a vision of how you would like the things to be. The next question will be, what kind of goals do we see that we would be willing to work on in order to make this place a better workplace for all of us? You identify goals. You look at things that you have already done. So a typical solution-focused question, what have we already done in the right direction? People start to identify, oh, yeah, we've done a little bit of this, actually we had a meeting already. They start to identify things that they have done, and we typically also ask, so, we've already done all these things, how come? And when we ask how come, we typically start to get a very good atmosphere in the room, because we realize that the boss has contributed, the janitor has contributed, the engineer has contributed, the economy department has contributed, and we start to have this emotional, we have contributed to this change, and we can contribute to this change. We also typically look at the resources. So we say, why do we believe that we can do this? It's an important question. Why do we believe that we can do this? People will have to look at each other and themselves and say, well, we do have resources. Oh, you have resources. What resources do you have? And suddenly you have a conversation in the team where people are looking at their own resources, the resources of the others, and the energy that you create is very strong, positive energy. This is what we want. We want a positive energy in the team and organization so that people will commit themselves to changing, to learning, to becoming even better at doing what they need to do. It's maybe not so easy to explain what solution focused means, because it's an experience. It's not a, you can put it in theory, but nothing happens. You have to experience the energy. It's a kind of a positive energy that is created through good questions, through energizing questions. Maybe some people would like to say empowering questions, whatever you want to call it. But it's that positive energy that is created through talking about our work and how we want things to be in the future in an energizing way, rather than in a problem-focused way. Why is nothing working here? Whose fault it is? And so on. There are also minus energy. You can talk about things in a minus energy way, and you can talk about things in a plus energy way. And we are trying to become experts in teaching people and learning how to talk about anything in an energizing way.
It's interesting you are speaking about teams, and I like it very much. But we know that also in certain cases, the one-to-one, the individual coaching is also solution-focused or other type of other basis coaching are also very effective. How would you once more perhaps helping comparing the two?
Okay, may I answer in the metaphor?
Okay.
Okay, my colleague Tapani, he used to be involved in football coaching, sports. And he used to be a teacher of coaching to football coaches. So he's like a consultant, psychological consultant for the football coaches. And then the coaches are always thinking about how can we make the best of our players, and So typically a football coach will have meetings with the whole group, and we make a strategy and they make plans how to play better, how to win the next match, what mistakes did we do in the last match, why did we fail. The coaches have something, they talk with the team. Also, typically a football coach will have individual sessions with each player. So Marco, very talented player, Marco, come now, you and me, we talk. We make an individual plan for you. Marco and the coach, they are talking. They are looking at what is weak in Marco, what Marco needs to develop. They make a plan for Marco. Marco goes and he's happy about the plan that he made with the coach. However, now none of the other players know what the coach has been speaking with Marco. So how can they support him in what he needs to learn? So let's say Marco needs to learn, I don't know what, to kick the ball in the upper left corner of the goal. But if the coach only speaks with Marco, then yes, they have a project, Marco and the coach. But we lose a lot of positive energy, because if the others are involved in Marco's project, and of course vice versa, Marco is involved in the others' projects, then they will notice when he's trying, and they will say, yeah, you are getting better at it. They will give a lot of positive feedback to him as he's learning to become better at reaching his goal, which is important for the goal of the whole team. So, I would like to say that if you coach, if you think about coaching, not as an individual activity, but as a group activity, you get, what is it called? Bonus. You get a bonus effect, which you don't get if you do it individually. And the bonus effect is help, support, encouragement, and celebration
Others.
from the others when things go right, and even support when things don't go right.
It's an amplified field, yes?
That's a nice one. That's a nice way of
Amplified
putting
field.
it. It amplified. The whole thing is amplified when you do it collectively.
And we have reserved a secret for you. Last point with Ev. Ev will use for you what sometimes you are using with your client.
Yeah, like tasting your own medicine.
Yes, a magic question. We will ask you a magic question.
Well, I'm ready for the magic question.
Ben, tegyük fel, hogy megmagyarázhatatlan dolog történik, és eszméletét veszti a világ. Aztán 2 perc 17 másodperc után, valami csoda folytán minden és mindenki felébred. Ön is. Körülnéz, és azt látja, hogy egy megoldásfókuszú, megoldásépítő munkahelyi környezetben találja magát. Mit lát? Hogyan viselkednek az emberek?
Let's consider that we do not know how, but the whole world for 2 minutes 17 seconds lose its consciousness. After this 2 minutes and 17 seconds, they are all wake up.
Yes.
And everybody finds somewhere, and you are finding yourselves in a really solution-focused environment, working environment.
Yes.
What do you feel? What do you realize? What do you see? What do you hear? What are your feelings? How behave the other people?
Yeah.
What is your perception of this situation?
That's a good question. That means that there is some kind of a solution-focused behavior, and I think there actually is. I have visited workplaces where this is true, where when you come, you kind of feel that this is a little bit different, and you start to look at what are people doing differently. And I think one thing they are doing differently is that they are talking more about their successes. So they will clearly say, oh, this one is telling that today this worked, and this one is telling that I succeeded with this thing, and they are very interested in each other's successes. So when you are telling me that I managed to call this person and have a little talk with this person that was difficult to reach, how did you do that? You will get a lot of positive feedback. And maybe the positive feedback is not like clapping hands and drinking champagne. It's more like interest. So we are interested in each other's successes. And when anybody is interested in my successes, I never forget to thank the others for the contribution that they gave me. So then it will be like, well, I think this worked quite nicely. And somebody will be like, how did you do that? And I start to think about how I did it, and I always remember to give the word of thanks to the people who made my success possible. That creates a lot of positive feeling and environment in the organization. But there are other things as well. There's also the thing that in a solution-focused working environment, we notice things. We solve problems. We see that this is not working, and we have to talk about it. It's not like we are solution focused and then all the problems disappear. They're still there, but we can learn a way of talking about it. So I imagine that if I come to a solution focused workplace, so something like this happens. I have a story about this. I was interviewing a manager of an organization that was famous for being solution-focused. They had many solution-focused projects. Everybody in the organization had heard the word solution-focused. Everybody knew what it means. You know, the whole organization was permeated by a kind of a solution-focused philosophy. It was part of their bread and butter. Huh? So I'm interviewing the manager of the organization, and I'm asking this question. So, you are a solution-focused organization, and you are famous for that. Everybody knows that. You have a good atmosphere in your organization. People really love to work there. They say wonderful things about you, the manager. So tell me, you must have problems too. Everybody has problems. So I'm asking, how do you deal with problems in a solution-focused way? That was my question. My question was, how do you solve problems in a solution-focused way? Because you also have problems, right? Everybody has. She looks at me like she doesn't understand my question or something. Or maybe she does, but it's very difficult for her to give me an answer. There's a big audience waiting, and the moment is going. She's just looking at me. And I'm thinking like, should I repeat the question or something? Didn't she understand my question? It's a clear question. How do you solve problems in a solution-focused organization? The silence is there. Finally, she opens her mouth. She looks at me and she says, we ask, do you need help? That was her answer to the question. And I thought it was quite an interesting answer. Because she didn't say, we have problems. She said, we have situations in which we feel that another person may need some help. And then we offer the help, if that person needs help. We even ask them if they need help. So I thought it was quite an interesting answer. Because in that little answer, we ask if you need help, was, it was like a dense answer. It included many thoughts. And to analyze it and to open that answer, I think it includes the idea that, first of all, we don't perceive things as problems. We perceive that there are situations in which people may need some help. Yes, you call them problems? We never call them problems. We perceive situations in which people need help. And then we go over and we say, do you need any help? That's it. That's the long and short of it. Now you can start to imagine if that idea, which is now a metaphorical idea, if that starts to have penetration, and basically you no longer have any problems. You only have situations in which you ask if somebody needs any help to fix something, to do something that needs to be done. So I think it's an interesting question that deserves some thinking.
Thank you very much, Ben. It's always really a pleasure. It's from all my heart saying that. And there is only one sad moment when time is up. So thank you very much once more. And yes, Ev, something?
Még egy gondolat.
Okay.
Köszönjük, Ben, hogy nem csak a megoldásokra fókuszáltunk, hanem egy megoldás építő csapatban dolgozhatunk önnel.
Thank you very much, Ben, that we could work with you together in a solution building team.
A solution building.
Building team. You have told us this solution building phrase, and that we like that very much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Hungarian film connection.
Yeah. Thank you very much.